think about it. Have you ever wished for this kind of invisible guide in your life? Someone who just seems to know what you need?
Yeah, or anticipates it?
Exactly. Providing the right insight right when you need it, maybe even before you know you're stuck. It's something we often wish for, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Mm.
Especially today. I mean,
Yeah,
we're drowning in information, aren't we?
totally.
So the real breakthrough isn't just, more data. It's getting that knowledge delivered to us intelligently right when it matters most, not us constantly hunting it down.
Well, that's exactly what we're diving into today, something called Theta-Driven Coach. It's
Mhm.
a really different approach to AI coaching. They're actually calling it the easiest app that ever existed, which is a bold claim.
It is bold.
Yeah.
And the idea is to create this experience that feels um, almost effortless, inevitable even.
So our mission for this deep dive is to unpack how this works. This AI coach that reads your life so well, you think we read your mind. How does it actually function?
Right. And what makes it so different? Why is the core tech, this FIM patent, potentially such a game changer? Not just for, individuals like you or me, but maybe for whole companies.
We want to see how it gives you that shortcut to being well informed about your own life, using your own experience.
Exactly. With maybe some surprising facts and real practical insights popping up along the way.
Okay, let's start with the problem it's trying to solve. We've all been there, that feeling, right?
Right.
You reach for your phone, hoping for some kind of answer, some breakthrough.
And you just get sucked deeper into the noise.
Yeah, information overload, app fatigue. We download things, get notifications, scroll through feeds, and still feel kind of overwhelmed or just stuck.
It's a huge modern challenge. And Theta-Driven Coach, they position it as this invisible architect trying to solve that
How?
by flipping the script completely. Instead of the usual push where apps push notifications at you
Yeah.
and you have to push yourself to engage,
Right.
it uses a pull dynamic. The AI comes to you when you need it.
Okay, pull, not push. What does that mean practically?
It means no downloads, no feeds to scroll, no constant pings. It's designed as pure utility. Like, it's so integrated you almost don't notice it's an app.
Interesting.
Their whole philosophy is basically just show up for life. We come to you.
So this idea of the AI coming to us, my first thought is, okay, how does that actually feel? Is it intrusive? How does it work in practice, this pull dynamic and the zero UI burden they talk about?
Well, it's meant to be this continuous positive feedback loop. So let's say you succeed at something. Maybe you nail a presentation or handle a tough conversation really well.
Uh-huh.
The AI, because it's been sort of passively observing your patterns through things you already use,
Like what? What's it observing?
things like your calendar, maybe email responses, even voice call transcripts if you opt in, it detects that success pattern.
Right.
Then, at just the right moment, it reaches out, maybe with a call,
Okay.
and it offers an insight to help you understand why that success happened.
Connecting the dots for you.
Exactly. So you experience that value, immediate, relevant insight. And then naturally, that success starts to compound. You're basically pulling value from your own life, unfolding, and the AI is just the facilitator, making that connection clear.
That sounds incredibly smooth. Almost
Yeah.
too easy. In a world packed with complicated apps, what are the hidden gears making this zero UI burden possible? Is it really zero effort?
Well, the design goal is minimal effort. It starts with a really simple one-time setup. They call it shortlex priority mapping.
Shortlex.
Yeah, think of it like giving short codes to your main goals or life areas, like O for objective with a target emoji, A for action, maybe a flexing arm, F for fitness, a runner, C for clarity, another runner.
So you're giving it your personal blueprint.
Precisely, your unique map.
Yeah.
After that, it's mostly passive observation of things you're already doing. Calendar, emails, call transcripts, these get analyzed by LLMs, notes taken, follow-up scheduled, all pretty automatically.
Okay.
And here's a neat detail. It's not just about the last call. Every second call synthesizes insights for the previous two calls
Oh, interesting. Why?
to understand the trajectory, not just where you are now, but where you seem to be heading and how fast. It weights those past insights to see the momentum.
So it's learning your pace of change. And it's not constantly buzzing my phone, right? How does it pick those optimal moments to reach out?
That's the unrobocall timing intelligence. It aims for a specific window, maybe a 6-hour time frame, but with like 30-hour gaps between contacts.
To avoid being annoying.
Exactly. Non-intrusive is key. And when it does call, it uses what they call embodied questions.
Embodied questions, what makes them different?
They're not generic fluff. They're designed to be incisive ingredients, sharp questions that trigger immediate, powerful insights within you.
Can you give me an example of something that really makes you think?
Sure. How about this? Chess grandmasters see 20 moves ahead. On a scale from 0 to 9, how many moves ahead are you thinking right now in your main project?
Okay, yeah, that makes you stop and assess.
Right. The whole point is you literally never need to open an app. The success, the insights, they happen in real life. The AI just provides that perfectly timed nudge.
What you're describing sounds incredibly powerful. But I gotta ask, and I bet listeners are thinking this too, AI that knows this much, it walks a fine line. How does it avoid feeling, frankly, a big creepy? How do we trust it?
Especially when AI often feels like a black box.
That is the critical question, and
Right.
that's where the FEM patent comes in. FIM stands for Fractal Identity Map.
Fractal Identity Map. Okay.
It's designed specifically to move beyond that opaque black box problem. Instead of hidden AI decisions, FIM enables what they call a map of thought versus a chain of thought.
Map versus chain. What's the difference?
Think of a fractal complex patterns repeating at different scales. FIM applies that idea to your digital identity, your actions, your thoughts as expressed digitally. It maps them to reveal underlying patterns in a way that's understandable to you.
So you can see the connections. Yes.
Yeah.
At every level. It means you know exactly why the AI called you, what specific data points, what patterns informed that call, and the questions it asked.
Okay, so transparency is the core principle there. But isn't there a risk? Does showing the why overwhelm you with data? Or could it backfire, revealing the AI's own limitations and maybe reducing trust?
That's a fair point. The key is making the transparency actionable and relevant. Like the source material says, you don't take advice you can't understand.
Right.
FAME makes the coaching auditable. It shows the why behind insights in a digestible way. It connects directly back to your stated priorities using those shortlex tags we mentioned.
Ah, so it links back to, oh, hi, or fuss.
Exactly. So it's hyper-relevant. It's not just random data. And this transparency isn't just for the user's peace of mind. It's huge for compliance in regulated industries. It creates an audit trail.
Which lets them tackle tougher AI use cases.
Precisely. They can go into areas others might avoid, what they call dangerous or scary AI applications, because FAME makes the AI's reasoning defensible and explainable.
Okay, it really feels like FEM is the linchpin holding this whole thing together. So if you connect all those pieces, FEM, the call timing, the success focus, the pull dynamic, what's the big picture, the unified value prop?
You've got it. The FIM patent enables the transparent AI. That transparency makes the unrobocall system trustworthy.
Unrobocall being that intelligent timing mechanism.
Exactly. Think of it as the AI's sophisticated GPS for your life's patterns. It uses FEM's map to find that perfect micro moment to reach out, never intrusive, always impactful.
Okay.
That timely delivery system then provides success as a product, which works because of the pull dynamic, which leads to what they call the easiest app experience.
Because you don't really use it in the traditional sense.
Right. Each piece reinforces the others. FEM builds trust. Unrobocall delivers value. Success compounds. The pull gets stronger. The app stays invisible but essential. And that's how you get the AI coach that reads your life so well, you think we rid your mind.
But it's not actually mind reading.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
It's more like a really clever mentalist's trick, as they put it.
How so?
The AI observes your habits, successes, hesitations. It uses its huge data set on human behavior plus your specific data to ask a question that basically forces you to connect the dots in your own mind.
Ah, so it prompts your insight. It doesn't invent it.
Exactly. It helps you access the wisdom you already have but haven't maybe articulated yet, helping you read your own mind more clearly.
What's really striking is how this changes the whole business model, too. It's not just what they're selling, but how.
Totally different. They're not selling software features. They're selling outcomes,
Meaning.
meaning you pay because you're actually succeeding, getting verified insights, achieving goals you set. If you're not succeeding, the model implies they failed first, not you.
Wow. That really flips the script on typical SaaS models. That sounds like a much tighter alignment between their success and the user's actual growth.
It is. It's designed to be anti-churn from the ground up. Their success is literally tied to yours, and it creates this upward spiral. Each success you have generates more data.
Which makes the next intervention better.
Right. When they spot these positive deltas, measurable improvements they might suggest, essentially an upgrade, like, hey, we're seeing great results, want more GPU time for your growth.
GPU time for personal growth. I like that.
Yeah. It's success as a service, justified like compute power. And their ultimate metric reflects this. Not monthly active users, but monthly transformed users.
Monthly transformed users. That's a powerful metric. So how do they actually charge for this? What's the pricing look like?
It's directly tied to those outcomes. For example, maybe $50 for a verified blind spot uncovered, $100 when you hit a goal achieved, $500 for a major life transformation, and like $25 a month if you stick with it for 6+ months, a retention milestone.
Okay, so tiered outcomes. And are there different plans?
Yeah, they offer a few models. Pure outcome-based, maybe $200, $800 a month, depending on your verified success. Hybrid models, like a small base fee, say $49 a month, plus charges per milestone. And then enterprise plans for teams, starting around $2,000 a month, often with ROI guarantees built in.
Given how many coaching apps and AI tools are popping up, this all sounds quite different. What really gives Theta-Driven its competitive edge in a crowded market?
Several things jump out.
Here.
First, that FAM patent. It's a claimed 10-year moat, a significant advantage they value at over $2 million. And remember, it lets them tackle those complex, maybe scary AI cases because it's transparent and defensible.
Okay, the patent mode. What else?
Second, the unrobocall timing. Proactive AI reaching out at the right moment versus you having to remember to open a reactive chatbot. They claim that leads to literally 10x the engagement rates.
10 times. Wow.
Yeah. Third, the success alignment revenue tied to your outcomes. That, they say, results in 5x better customer retention. People stick around if it's actually working for them.
Makes sense.
And finally, that zero UI burden. No app fatigue, no notification hell. They aim for, quote, infinite user satisfaction compared to the addiction cycle of many apps.
So it really carves out this unique space, not just another app, but a different kind of experience entirely.
Absolutely. Their positioning seems to be the AI coach for people who hate coaching apps.
Huh. I can see the appeal.
And that unique position, especially with FIM's compliance features, opens up big B2B opportunities. Think enterprise wellness, financial services, healthcare places where trust and auditability are paramount.
Okay, so let's bring this back to the listener. We made progress in life, but sometimes we don't really notice it, right? That little bit of growth gets lost in the day-to-day. How does Theta-Driven help with actually seeing your own transformation?
That's actually a core piece of their philosophy. They argue that most transformation doesn't fail because of lack of progress, but because we fail to notice the progress we are making.
Interesting point.
So Theta-Driven uses these sophisticated prompts, as they call them, specifically designed to make you acutely present to your own evolution. It's about making the intangible shifts feel tangible.
How? What kind of prompts actually achieve that, make you feel acutely present?
They use specific question structures, almost like recipes. They call them outcome tracking recipes, and they're categorized using a short-rank taxonomy.
Okay, like different flavors of questions.
Kind of. For instance, there's delta recognition that's about measuring quantitative change. A prompt might be, think back 3 months. How would you have handled this situation then versus now? On a scale of 0, 9, 10 being a completely different person, how much has that response pattern shifted? You can sort of feel the rhythm of that change starting, can't you?
Yeah, that forces reflection.
Or the delta one. Which old energy leaks just seem to have sealed themselves up lately without you consciously trying? Notice that new flow of vitality emerging.
Nice. What about validating the internal feeling, not just the numbers?
That falls under experience validation. Focusing on the felt sense, like, where in your body do you notice that quiet certainty showing up more often now? What's the specific pattern of that new certainty?
Connecting mind and body.
Right, or what feels different maybe in your chest or shoulders when you walk into challenging situations now? Can you feel that new sense of composure taking hold?
And gratitude. That's always key for sticking with change.
Definitely. They have prompts for gratitude and appreciation, for example. Which recent difficulty are you now, maybe secretly, grateful for? How did it shift your perspective or boost your self-respect? It's amazing how challenges can create a whole new momentum for growth, isn't it?
Yeah, reframing challenges. What's the last category?
Presence and noticing. Just being aware of the now. A simple one might be, right now, this moment, what's one thing that's working better in your life than it was just 30 days ago? Just feel the unfolding of that current improvement.
It sounds like these prompts are really carefully crafted. How does the AI actually track this kind of subtle qualitative progress behind the scenes?
It's pretty sophisticated, using multiple layers. First, linguistic pattern detection. It's not just keywords. What that? It looks for shifts in sentence structure. How often you use I am statements versus I should or I need to. Are you externalizing blame less? Using more solution-focused language. A consistent rise in identity-based language like I am decisive instead of I need to decide, that's a strong positive delta signal for the AI.
Okay, language analysis. What else?
Then there's behavioral pattern analysis. Looking at your calendar are thinking time blocks shrinking, indicating faster decisions. Email sentiment analysis are interactions becoming more positive or constructive. Response times getting quicker.
So linking digital behavior to internal states.
Exactly. And also voice tone analysis during the calls themselves, checking for shifts in confidence, stress levels, emotional calibration. All these data points feed into their success compounding algorithm.
And that algorithm does what?
It customizes the timing of the next call, selects the right type of prompt, maybe you need a gratitude prompt now, and generally works to amplify your awareness of your own progress.
Now, does FAM come back into play here? How does the user see this tracking? How does it stay transparent?
Yes, FIM is crucial for that. It makes the logic visible to you. The AI doesn't just say, you seem more decisive. It might say something like, I'm asking about decision speed because, and then it lists the evidence.
Ah, shows its work.
Exactly. Your calendar shows 40% fewer thinking time blocks. Your email responses are 60% more decisive in tone based on sentiment analysis. Your voice patterns show less hesitation on our calls. And this pattern directly matches your stated priority of faster clarity, which you coded as OA, BAT.
Wow. Okay, so you see the exact data points and how they connect to your goals.
Right. It builds trust because it's not a black box judgment. It helps you understand yourself better through your own reflected data.
Okay, let's zoom out again. We've talked individuals, but what happens when you try to scale this? Can this level of AI-driven transformation work for, say, entire organizations or even society? What's the future look like if this FEM patent gets leveraged more broadly?
This is where FIM's transparency becomes really powerful for bigger systems. That map of thought concept directly tackles the huge regulatory and ethical nightmares often associated with black box AI in business.
How so?
It provides AI explainability on demand. For every insight or recommendation the AI makes within an organization, FIM can generate a reasoning trail or a decision graph.
Like an audit log for AI thinking?
Pretty much. It's like having an AI insurance policy for companies worried about legal blowback or damaging their reputation if an AI recommendation goes wrong. They can point to the film math and say, here's exactly why the AI suggested that.
That could unlock AI use in really sensitive areas.
Potentially. They even talk about it enabling new kinds of financial instruments, like insurance vehicles for AI decision risk, because FIM allows you to actually quantify that risk in a way black boxes don't.
So beyond just risk management, could it proactively improve how organizations function, like an early warning system for internal problems?
Exactly right. The FIM patent isn't limited to individuals. You can create an organizational shortlex to map collective health goals,
Give me an example.
like ORGI for the main objective, COMPE for communication strength, INOL for innovation speed, Alignte for team alignment.
Okay.
Then, the Unroo system could monitor patterns across teams, anonymize communication sentiment, project completion rates, meeting overlaps, and suggest systemic interventions.
Such as?
Like, based on detected communication friction between marketing and sales around lead handoffs, we recommend a focused 15-minute huddle on project handoff clarity involving these specific roles.
Wow, so it's like an AI organizational development consultant constantly monitoring and nudging, an early warning system for human capital issues.
You could think of it that way, a proactive immune system for the organization's health and effectiveness.
Taking this even further, could this foster learning between people, maybe create communities or groups based on these insights?
That's another fascinating possibility. CFM could intelligently form what they call FIM-matched peer groups,
Match how?
based on shared goals, obviously, but also on complementary thought maps. Imagine connecting people whose patterns of thinking or problem-solving styles would genuinely spark new insights if they interacted.
So tailored masterminds, essentially.
Exactly, allowing users to, as they say, benefit from someone else's win in a really targeted way. You could even have advanced AI facilitators analyzing anonymized group transcripts, offering teaching points, or maybe setting up quick quad-tap video call huddles for specific discussions.
That creates a powerful network effect, doesn't it? Where individual growth fuels collective intelligence.
It really does. And success becomes visible, maybe even viral within that network. People notice tangible positive changes in their peers. Someone's language evolution sounds more confident, their decision quality improves. There's just an energy shift.
And they ask, hey, what are you doing differently?
Precisely. Which leads to effortless advocacy. They even suggest a playful sign up your buddy feature, sort of half prank, half nudge, leveraging that natural curiosity when you see someone thriving. It becomes an organic way to spread the transformation.
So wrapping this up then, Theta-Driven Coach, really powered by this FIM patent, aims to make transformation personal, organizational, feel effortless, deeply trustworthy, and just woven into the fabric of daily life.
Yeah, it's a fundamental shift. Not fighting your tech, not chasing knowledge, but having this invisible, intelligent guide helping you unlock your own evolving potential.
It really makes you think.
It does. Here's a final thought to leave you with. Imagine a world where our biggest decisions, personal and collective, aren't based on guesswork or drowning in data, but guided by an AI that's so transparent, so perfectly timed, it just helps us surface the answers we already hold. What could happen if every person, every team, every organization could operate from that state of, let's call it, effortlessly calibrated peak potential? Continuously noticing our own growth and maybe inspiring that in others. What new possibilities might emerge then?